Hi, friends. I've got a tough one to post for you here. So I just want to get it done. It's from yesterday, May 1st, 2010, the first one of the day. And the Mayan day was one eagle. And it's called Aliens Appearing in Light Body. I come with deep concern to the journal this morning, having just listened to someone on YouTube detailing and explaining their trip to the Pleiades as a contactee. My heart is heavy. You might wonder why, since I have no problem with star beings, time travel, or space travel either. It's not that. Well, my dear friends, we've all heard of disinformation. We've experienced it on Earth for such a long time, since we began awakening. For a long time, the controllers, the Illuminati, or whatever we call them, were simply able to manipulate and control us, keeping our frequencies within a limited band with their grids, their nets, and their methods. Lately, however, particularly since about the 1960s and the rebellion of the flower children and that whole generation, it hasn't been quite so easy for them. We began waking up, even back then. So, the dark side had to get slicker and more devious to corral us back in. Thus, enter stage left, disinformation. Seemed to give them the truth to cooperate, as in Project Blue Book, and open discussion on the topics we insisted on raising, but don't tell the truth. That became their new way. It's taken us some time to get wise to their ways, and the awakenings are continuing broadly and worldwide. They're accelerating. For that, let's rejoice. But it's time we stepped up once again, for they've got a whole new way of manipulation, and it's rounding a lot of us up, convincing us that the bad guys are really the good guys. It's just disinformation exponentialized. How do they do this? Oh my God, do I dare even tackle this? My friends, so many of you dear, sincere, and sweet people, intelligent too, but still locked within mind, are falling for the aliens' latest tricks. They have been doing genetic experimentation, right? Genetic work? Well, they have crossbred and altered their forms to look more appealing. Many of them now look like our dear Nordic friends, with light-skinned, blonde hair, even blue eyes. But don't be fooled by these good looks. I will refer you once again to George Cavasilis and his experiences with these beings. And I'll put the links again in the transcript. They look and behave lovingly until you cross them. Then look out. They offer what George calls conditional love. As long as you're nice to me and cooperative, I'll treat you well, but cross me at your peril. Yes, I know this is not nice news. We want to believe these good-looking, lovely-seeming, light-appearing beings, to take them at their word. We want to have the experiences they offer and often provide. We want so desperately to wake up that we're vulnerable to them, and they know it. That's just what they're exploiting. Only some will be able to see this right now, right away. simply because the manipulation has gone deep into so many who have gone with these beings. By presenting such a beautiful and seemingly loving exterior to us, they subvert our free will, getting us to surrender willingly to what they offer. We don't see at the time what they're doing, how manipulative it is. And the whole reason for this is that we're not yet centered, anchored in heart. We're in mind. That's their domain, their playground. With their tremendously advanced technology, which, by the way, our governments have been using for over a century now, they are able to quite take control of mind space. If that's where we reside, then we're their target. We're vulnerable. Please see this. You hear me singing my little song here about entering into the kingdom of heart, and I haven't sought to make it scary at all. Why should I? It's a natural process. The thing is, I must admit there are some very good reasons to accelerate your process into heart space, and these ETs are one of the best ones. They're dangerous. Not dangerous to you physically or in 3D ways generally or directly. No, it's more subtle than that, but so real. They're up to no good, friends. Please, just because a being appears before you, even though it looks to be made of light, don't necessarily trust it. I don't care how beautiful it appears. That's just a container. Just like your body, it's just a container for spirit. Only with the eyes of heart can we look into these beings. As long as we remain lost in mind land, they will continue to trick and trap us and slyly get us to consent to their manipulation of our being, our force field. Please know that no matter what, it's not too late. It's never too late. Just because we've gone with these beings and believed them and allowed them to perform seeming medical activities on us, that's okay. You know why? You are still a sovereign being. You still have free will, and you get to change your mind if you like. It's still Prime Creator's universe, and that's the way she made it. So, just some food for pondering. Many reptilians are now decked out in Nordic containers. If you're curious, just cross them. Just say no to what they're asking, and then you'll see. Oh, and before you do that, be sure you're in heart. That way, you'll have the best view of these beings when they're crossed. They don't like it. They're not light. Now, obviously, that's not saying that all Nordic ETs are reptilian. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some of them are. And if you're in heart, you can better identify this. Okay, here's the beauty in that. They don't like to be crossed, nor do they expect it. They really look down on us, this bunch, folks. To them, we're just cattle, just livestock that they own. That's how they view us. Rather than cattle prods, they control us these days by manipulating our free will, by getting us to think kindly of them so that we will cooperate. Can you see how this makes their life easier? Well, I can. So, just try out the waters before you go tripping with aliens, dear friends. The only thing it means if a being appears before you in light body is that it's from a higher frequency than 3D. That doesn't make it a saint or a being of light, just like violet is not a holier color than red. Please consider, that's all I'm saying. Don't be duped. These guys are slick. There's plenty of good guys out there, but not all of them. Okay, P.S. If they want to prepare you to live off-world, then don't trust them. Our destiny is right here with Gaia, and they know that. They know we are ascending, and that once we do, we'll be out of their reach. They want to divert as many of us from that future as they can for their own purposes, not for us. Please, just think twice. Just don't rush. That's all. Be in heart. We've experienced it on Earth for such a long time, since we began awakening. For a long time, the controllers, the Illuminati, or whatever we call them, were simply able to manipulate and control us, keeping our frequencies within a limited band. Hi, friends. I've got a tough one to post for you here. So I just want to get it done. It's from yesterday, May 1st, 2010, the first one. Their trip to the Pleiades as a contactee. My heart is heavy. You might wonder why, since I have no problem with star beings, time travel, or space travel either. It's not that. Well, my dear friends, we've all heard of disinformation with their grids, their nets, and their methods. Lately, however, particularly since about the 1960s and the rebellion of the flower children and that whole generation, it hasn't been quite so easy for them. We began waking up, even back then. Of the day, and the Mayan day was one eagle, and it's called Aliens Appearing in Light Body. I come with deep concern to the journal this morning, having just listened to someone on YouTube detailing and explaining